Well, we're all fortified, so we're going to go ashore, get the lay of the land while the day trippers are all still here, and see what it's all about.
Go and see the crocodiles.
Potentially.
And the snakes.
Potentially.
This is Green Island on the Great Barrier Reef. Those crocodiles Josh is talking about live on the island in a place called Marineland Melanesia. And this isn't our first rodeo here. Green Island was the first piece of the Barrier Reef I visited as a young British backpacker in 1997. Over the years I've written articles about the place and returned many times for both work and pleasure, including as part of a sailing voyage from Asia to Australia in 2006 and 7. Home to an eco-resort boasting luxury accommodation, Green Island is also open to day trippers and, with a couple of public moorings, makes a pretty inviting stopover for the crews of visiting yachts. Under the water and in the skies above, Green Island is a nature lover's paradise. It's one of the Great Barrier Reef's 300 sand cays, but the only one that has its own rainforest, complete with 28 species of forest birds. The island itself is a national park, and at just 15 nautical miles from the mainland, it's a slice of Australia almost anyone can see.
This is Brilliant 2, a Kelly Peterson 44 built in 1978. This is us, the Smallwoods. And this is the story of our long overdue boat refit.
Wait, this is the story of a mid-refit sailing adventure.
Welcome along for the ride.
It's a bit bigger than the last island we walked around.
Yeah, and note to self, bring mosquito repellent because the mozzies and sandflies are voracious, and croc feeding is at 10:30 and 1:30 daily. Well, this is the resort. I stayed here a while ago and I was up here for work. They're very nice rooms, lovely, but the good ship Brilliant 2 is world class. I'll go with Brilliant 2.
Not convinced by my boat versus resort spiel, the boys decided they wanted to check out more of the island's creature comforts. Constructed around the trees and on boardwalks raised off the ground, the resort's buildings are cleverly designed to blend into the canopy. From the sea, you'd never know that luxuries like ice cream awaited you ashore, although the fast cats and the hordes of people along the jetty are a bit of a giveaway. Tantalised by the crystal clear water, we just had to jump on in, and this is what we saw.
There's all sorts of history being made here. First and only crocodile exhibit on a sand cay, Australia's first protected coral cay, Great Barrier Reef's first tourist destination, and the world's first underwater observatory. I'll just show you the family tree of all the crocodiles you can meet here. Now the most famous one is Cassius, and as it says here, he is meant to be the largest in captivity and more than 110 years old. So this is a photo of when they actually caught him to bring him to the island.
Cassius?
Yeah, what a monster. He is huge. Wait till you see him. It's not the first time you've seen him, Josh. We came here when you were about 6 or 7 and he hissed at you because you were a nice bite-sized morsel then. Good morning.
Hello.
Oh look, Cassius, here he is, Josh. He was being fed a tuna head and he grabbed it with such force it exploded. Oh my god. Cassius being hand fed. Yeah, no, thank you very much. Do not try this at home. I'll tell you what, we complain about putting stinger suits on. This was the gear that they had to put on to go pearl diving. Imagine the weight of all that stuff. Suddenly the stinger suit doesn't seem too bad.
To get to the crocodiles, you walk through Australia's oldest aquariums. Built in 1958, they're said to have never run dry, being watered by the surrounding ocean and lit with natural sunlight. No wonder Nemo and Dory were home. There are lots of Melanesian artefacts and even a resident sea turtle. But then you reach the stars of the show. Green Island's crocodiles belong to George Craig, who is possibly the original Crocodile Dundee. George took up croc hunting after arriving in Australia in 1951. His unusual profession then took him to Papua New Guinea's Fly River. It was here he started collecting the Melanesian artefacts now on display, as well as a growing menagerie of pet crocodiles. Relocating to Green Island in the 1970s with his reptilian clan, George recalled in an ABC interview, "They gave me a permit within a couple of hours because they had no choice." Fast forward to 1987, and with Marineland Melanesia thriving, Cassius arrived. Originally a problem crocodile from the Northern Territory, George is reported to have paid $10,000 for Cassius, who at 5.48 metres long now holds the Guinness World Record for being the largest crocodile in captivity. This year, he's also estimated to have turned 120 years old. I say estimated because apparently nobody really knows. What we do know for sure is that he's big and old. So let's take a look.
Right. Where are you, Cassius?
Well, it'll be a dead giveaway when we get to a pen that's got his name on it. And that is Cassius. It's one big boy.
Okay everybody, so as I'm sure you'll have by now noticed, we've got two crocs here in this first enclosure. Now these are not robots guys, if they don't want to perform they're simply not going to. I challenge anyone to make a crocodile do something it doesn't want to do. But the jumping that you're going to see here today folks is a natural behaviour. We don't teach the crocs here at the park to jump. They'll jump both here in captivity and also out in the wild to try and catch any birds or bats as they fly over. Now basically what they do is just use their back legs to lift their main body weight up off the ground. Then just big kicks with that tail is what gets them up and out of the water. So if you see a crocodile outside the water here today, you're going to notice that their tails run about half the length of their body. And especially on the big males, that tail is extremely heavy. So outside the water, it just becomes a bit of a dead weight. That is outside the water. Inside the water, it's a very different story.
Wait. Let's see that again.
Difficulty working out exactly what 18 foot would look like stretched out in a straight line. Cassius is the same length as this pole.
Wow.
That's
Just let that sink in. Now he's been here at Marineland since 1987. He was captured in 1984 up near Darwin on the Finnis River, where he was a problematic crocodile attacking people's boats and also eating farmers' cattle. He's got lots of injuries. There's a couple of big slices, lots of white scouring, and he's also missing a good sized chunk of both his top and bottom jaws at the front, which are injuries directly resulting from attacking boat propellers. And down the centre of his back there, he's got more white markings. Now they are more scars. They're either going to be the result of having been run over by a boat, or could also be the result of crocodile sunburn. Now Cassius is missing around 6 inches off of his tail, as well as his front left leg almost entirely. Both those injuries were sustained prior to being captured. And they're either the result of a fight with another crocodile or potentially even a run-in with a bull shark. I'll get him open up for you guys on the hook. I'll show you over here over this side.
So just how long will Cassius live? Well, as our guide explains,
So if you can keep them happy and healthy, there's a good chance that they can live forever. There's no physical attribute that a crocodile will die from old age. It's simply the fact that when they get to a point that they've got no teeth, they've got nothing to defend themselves or hunt with.
Now there's a line of scientific research. If you can discover the secret, you can sell that.
Absolutely, yeah.
well, thanks for the show, Cassius, and good luck for the next 120 years, buddy.